Time now for the day's trending tickers as we draw closer to the closing bell on Wall Street. Taking a look at shares of Disney, the company reaching a settlement agreement with allies of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in a lawsuit over control of Walt Disney World's governing district. Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman is joining us here to discuss. Rick.
Hey guys. So this had a lot of political overtones because DeSantis made this move. He basically got the legislature to pass a law that removed Disney's governmental autonomy while we knew he was running for president. So, and in his book that came out a year ago, he spent a chapter talking about how he's taking on woke corporations. So Disney, I guess he kind of decided Disney was going to be his target, his poster child for his attack on woke corporations, and his attack on wokeness. That was going to be the thing that distinguished him as a presidential candidate. Well, it didn't. He didn't really get any traction as a presidential candidate, went back to governing in Florida, and now they have wrapped up this case with both sides saying they settled this out of court. We don't really know the terms of how much governmental autonomy Disney is going to get back. So both sides are saying this is a mutual agreement. We're happy this is settled. We wouldn't just get on with business. But we don't really know what's going to happen yet. And there are some things in this agreement that say there's an agreement to come in 30 days, some rights involving what seem to be water rights and land use rights that will revert to Disney. But I think what's going to happen here is both sides are going to say, we got what we want, and let's move on.
You think DeSantis is back in 28?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was my question. That's all I want to know.
Absolutely, he's going to be back in 28. So
that's a long time, Rick. You know, new heroes come to the party, new villains.
It's been 4 years since the last one.
Well, Joe Biden first ran for president in 1988. And he did not get elected until 2020.
Is that Dukakis
on his third time? Yeah, that was against Dukakis. He wasn't even the candidate. He didn't even make it through the primaries. So DeSantis is young. He's got plenty of time. He's got a political future ahead of him. I think that what DeSantis needs to figure out, if you're DeSantis, you're thinking, well, one way or another, Trump will be out of the way by 2028. Either he will be finishing his second term as president, or if he loses in 24, he'll kind of go away as a political force over time. So then how does Ron DeSantis either capture those Trump voters or offer them something new? And the idea was he would be Trumpy without the baggage of Trump in 2024, and he wasn't that at all. He was stiff. He did not engage people. He seems to have no charisma, not a great stage presence. So is he going to come back with the same act, or is he going to revise his act?
All of that is true, but also, Rick, don't you think, listen, this time around, Republican primary voters knew who they wanted from the get-go?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
The thing about DeSantis is he starts with a great resume. He's self-made. He grew up poor. He went to Yale. He was the captain of the baseball team. He served as a judge advocate general, I think, in the Marine Corps in a combat zone in Iraq. He's just got a golden resume, and he completely flubbed it. What I've been paying attention to is, does this war on woke corporations, does this really have any traction? And I just don't think it does. I think it's just one of those things where you're preaching to the choir. The choir is pretty small. Most Americans out there are kind of thinking, well, businesses don't always get it right, but they are trying to address the concerns Americans have about diversity, inclusiveness, and things like that. They stumble sometimes.
That was sort of the knock, right? The idea is, listen, he was such an effective governor and executive, he should have just focused on that.
He could have. Yeah. And he decided he needed to have this other, thing to go on. And
well, maybe in 28.
Maybe there'll still be woke corporations for him to go after in 28.